Hello, today we will be going over the Carlsen Rapport game from Tata Steel Masters round 7, in which Carlsen won that game. It starts off, it's a Petrov, starts off e4. Carlsen has white. e5, knight f3, knight f6, knight takes, d6, knight to f3, knight to d3. Now, knight to d3 is that's an odd move. I don't see that too often. It is an option, of course. Rapport plays knight takes, queen to e2, pinning the knight, queen to e7, unpinning the knight. If that knight on e4 moves, we could just exchange queens and he'll develop his bishop by bishop takes e7. We're even. Knight f4, planning knight d5, c6, which is a book move, f3 attacking the knight. Notice that Black cannot play queen h4 check because the knight is pinned here. You can't play well, if g3, the knight can't take on g3 because it's pinned. So the queen has to come back. Then you lose a piece. Or queen to e7, queen takes e4. So queen h4 cannot be played. d4, centralizing. Bishop to f5, developing. c4, gaining some of the center. h5, counter-attacking on the king side. Developing, knight c3, knight a6. Looking at b4. Carlsen plays king to f2. He unpins the queen, and he does a castling of sorts. Knight does come to b4, controlling d3. So the queen goes to d1, so that anything that lands on d3 can be recaptured. Now, Black castles long. So by castling long in this position, we know that we have a fight on the way here. Carlsen's king on f2 is placed awkwardly. I'm looking at a3 can be played, but Carlsen plays knight to d3 to try to relieve some of this tension, to try to get some exchanges. d5 and c5, closing the center. Knight takes, bishop takes. Rapport plays knight to e4, causing all kind of complications. Knight to e4 check is based on the fact that the white king is misplaced on f2. This is an intuitive attack based on the open king. The white king is exposed to attacks here on f2. Now, what if Black would have opted just to play maybe bishop e6? Well, computer says if bishop e6, then h4 or queen to a4. Bishop to e6, white would have an advantage. For instance, let's say queen here, king to b8. Could we play b4? Well, then bishop check, and he even has maybe bishop d6, bishop here check. Yeah, and white has an overwhelming advantage here because bishop f4 check king moves. Then you could play, then you could take over the e file, or you could play b4 b5. So if bishop g6, then rook e1 attacking the queen, then the queen would move. Let's say here. Then computer says exchange on a g6, and Black and white is just simply better. White is simply better here. So Rapport, he goes in for knight e4 check, knowing that he could be playing, giving up a piece for a pawn with a possible kingside attack. So knight e4. So Carlsen accepts the challenge. Pawn takes. Pawn takes. Basically, a piece for a pawn and an attack. So bishop e2, queen to f6. Is there a better move here? No, queen to f6 is pretty good. Attacking d4. Bishop e3. Carlsen defends. Now Carlsen has a piece for a pawn. He's up. Black has to play accurately in order to create something. Bishop takes c5. Taking advantage of the pin. White cannot play d takes c5 because the rook on d1 is hanging. Rook on f1, wanting to move the bishop to g1, pinning the f5 bishop. Queen check, which is a blunder. Correct is simply bishop takes d4, picking up another pawn. So we would have like bishop takes, rook takes. And maybe black could drum up something. Not queen there because, yeah, bishop e6. Bishop e6 is a discovered check. So maybe queen here. Queen to c1, we still have a discovered check coming. And then king to g1. And maybe we advance these kingside pawns. Or double rooks. You can play rook h to d8, double rooks on f5 with some pressure. And then advance the g pawn. All the way, push the G and H pawns all the way down to the third rank. That's an idea. But Queen to H4 was not a good move. That was a blunder. Maybe he was counting on. Well, you can't play G3 because the queen takes pawn. So the king has to go to safety. And then he moves the bishop that was attacked on C5. Maybe that was his point. So this is the point. So now we have rook takes f5. So queen there check, king moves, the f5 bishop is attacked. We have two pieces that are attacked. Yeah, he could have defended the bishop on f5. Instead, he plays bishop here, which is worse. He's counting on queen takes pawn check or bishop takes pawn. But Carlsen saw that he could get his king to safety. So rook takes f5, queen takes, king to f1. If queen to h1, then bishop to g1, and then bishop. Well, he can't play here right away. We have king to f2. You could try a check here. King takes it, then maybe rook to e8. If king takes, rook to e8 maybe. Then the king escapes. And there's no attack here. So Rapport, he miscalculated. He thought he had something. I mean, he gave up his bishop. Queen takes check. Let's go back over this. King to f1, queen. But he plays g6 first. Then rook takes pawn. Rook to f8. Bishop c4, protecting that rook. What he could take. Carlsen had to calculate this. Rook takes, bishop takes. But we don't want to go here. Oh, now queen to b3 protects that bishop on f7. So bishop c4 protecting the f7 rook. Bishop there, attacking the g1 bishop. King up. Takes. And there we have queen to b3. And everything is protected. Bishop takes, rook takes, queen check. Maybe, yeah, king over. Carlsen is safe here. Yeah, G3 is better here. But G3, Queen H2. If G3, Queen H2, Rook G2. So Queen H4 check. King moves. Rook takes. So yeah, G3 was better because the line that was played, the queen gets black recaptures the bishop. But if we would have played G3, he still would have recaptured. Queen here. King moves. If we recapture right away, oh, then knight takes e4. So either way, but Carlsen would have been up a piece though. Either way, queen there, king. So so after this little march and recapturing the bishop, knight to e2, white is still up a piece. I mean, he has maybe what, 2 pawns for the piece? 1, 2, 3, 4. Or a pawn for the piece. Rook there, and he can resign here. After rook to g3, Carlsen won. So it was sort of a speculative attack, but queen h4 was the real blunder here. So Carlsen goes on to win that game.